Wrong ones part ways, right ones find their way. The article I'm sharing with you today is about this kind of emotion. It's mutual abuse. Love is something that can be encountered but not sought. Many people spend their whole lives busy, perhaps, just to find a love that belongs to them. But in reality, there is often a group of people who are much luckier than those and have found their love early on, found their place of belonging, but in the end, they end up with a sad and separated ending, leaving people sighing. People always say, the most puzzling aspect of emotions is some relationships between men and women. But in this world, various profound mathematical problems can be solved. Are emotional problems really so complex and profound that we don't know where to start? Actually, it's not. As long as we find the right method, find the right entry point, find the correct attitude and approach, many problems can be easily solved. Understanding the emotions between men and women is really not a big deal. In this life, let us encounter a relationship that satisfies our hearts. It is truly not easy. Since we have obtained it, we should cherish it. Don't wait until the end to realize regret is too late. Life is not a game. There is no possibility of a do-over. For two people to meet, to have the opportunity to live together, is a rare fate. Don't be too picky. Don't nitpick unnecessarily. Such behavior is unnecessary. Compromise does not mean surrendering to life. Sometimes, stepping back opens up a world of possibilities. In marriage, if both parties give way, many unnecessary troubles and arguments can be avoided. There is a kind of relationship between men and women that we never understand. One party is arrogant, the other is humble. The more one party disregards the other, the more the other clings tightly, reluctant to leave. The humble one complains about unfairness all day, while the arrogant one thinks they are bestowing favor. But despite this, no matter how you try to persuade them, they are inseparable in the end. In the end, you really don't know whether to sympathize with the kind-hearted one, or blame the selfish one. It always feels like they are mutually helpless, dependent on each other, taking what they need from each other, but also hurting each other. In this world, the most pitiful emotion is often a combination of self-righteousness and self-deprecation. Arrogance and inferiority are good friends, because they are not confident at all. Due to lack of confidence, they have to show off excessively. Going overboard becomes arrogance. Once exposed, it turns into inferiority. Commonly known as bullying the weak and fearing the strong. Yeah. Thanks for listening so far. This channel is for everyone to improve better daily. If any of the words or sentences are helpful, then both my team and I will be very happy. Subscribing and following will help keep us moving forward. Now, let's get back to sharing. So those who seem rebellious, always think they are unattainable, believe that their partners are not worthy, and often show disdain on their faces, feeling like they are bestowing favor while feeling wronged. Deep down, they must have been hurt, encountered contempt and rejection, or have been betrayed. I know that feeling is not pleasant, but if you knowingly endure unpleasantness, and bring the same feeling to others, to balance and retaliate through harm to the innocent, then such a person is more detestable than anyone, at the same time, also more pitiful than anyone, because they are repeating the harm, losing the ability to experience happiness. It's like a victim trying to save themselves, dragging innocent people down, to achieve inner balance. In the end, they have to explain their lack of choice, telling everyone that life is like this. In fact, such people, every time they humiliate the other party, while getting pleasure, they are also reminding themselves of the humiliation they once suffered. They feel that the other party is not presentable, but they lack the confidence and ability to find someone better. Even if they find someone better, they are afraid they won't be able to control them. And the one in front, though looked down upon, is at least safe. So they are always confused in this dilemma, seemingly unattainable but actually pitiful inside. When we are all condemning the selfish exploitation, sympathizing with silent dedication, always remember the dual nature of things. Just like a person who appears arrogant on the surface but is actually inferior inside, those who appear humble and honest are doing so because they also have needs, otherwise, they cannot find balance. And this need is by no means the selfless and infatuated love you think, because any sacrifice based on losing self-respect is no longer sincere, but a practical need. That is vanity, nothing more than lust and face. When a person is not recognized by their lover for a long time, their identity is concealed, yet they still choose to accept it. It is because, over time, they have accepted themselves. They are not presentable. They are humble. They are far from the other party. Being able to stay by the other's side is already a great favor, a tremendous honor, even though they have lost their self-respect, who made themselves incapable. At least they can still keep the other person, to some extent. It is a comfort. If others criticize them, it's like denying their own value. This is similar to Stockholm Syndrome, where the victim develops feelings for the perpetrator. Even helping the perpetrator, people will only develop a psychological dependence on the kidnapper. Their life and death are in the hands of the kidnapper. The kidnapper lets them live, and they are grateful. They share the same fate with the kidnapper, considering the kidnapper's future as their own, seeing the kidnapper's safety as their own safety, so they adopt an attitude that opposes those trying to rescue them, considering the rescuer as an enemy. Loving someone, even if unable to protect them, at least, not hurting them, even more, not using them to satisfy one's inner balance. Loving someone, even if not getting anything in return, at least, not accepting humiliation, and one should not lose self-respect to gain recognition. A beautiful love is when two confident people encourage each other, not two insecure people hurting each other. That's all for today's sharing. Thanks to all of you for supporting Improve Better Daily. Feel free to leave a comment and tell me your feelings. Don't forget to like and share with your friends. Looking forward to meeting you again.